Alright, here we are in Sonoma at Church Street and 5th Street West. And what we're going to see is a residential home. And this is right at 456 5th Street West. And we see, when we look down the street, we're going to see a pole where they want to put one of those small cell phone towers. I believe it's the one in the middle. We're going to figure out how far this house is from that cell phone tower by coming over here and taking a look at this measurement device. What do we got? We're at 0 at the front step. Let me see what we got. And there we are. Let's start walking. So what we're going to do is just go across as straight a line as we can. Sorry for the bad camera work here, but I bet you it's going to be 125 feet is my best guess. And we're going to go straight as we can across. Now there's no traffic. Let's run. Okay, we're dodging traffic here, but we're going to get there. Taking the shortest distance possible, right to the base of the pole. And we're going to find out whether it's 100 or 120 or 130. We're not sure yet. But we'll get there, and we'll let you know how close we are. The problem is that when you're about 100 feet from one of these cell phone towers, actually you're in the worst position, because that's when it starts hitting the ground. So stop right there. Here we go. We're roughly 154 feet. I hope you can see that on the video. And this is that pole that they are talking about, where they want to put one of those small cell phone towers. Radios, power supplies, antennas, all the way to the top. Is this necessary? Well, of course it isn't. But that's what we know so far. Here we are in Sonoma, California. We're looking at the Wells Fargo Bank, but actually, guess what? People live near the Wells Fargo Bank. That greenhouse there is a residence, and we know someone who lives there. Here is that utility pole where Verizon wants to put one of those cell phone towers, and we're going to find out how far it is from this utility pole to that house. We're at 0 now. Let's start walking. We're going to let us go by. Thank you very much. We're going to get across the street quickly. Keep on going. So we're going to guess, I don't know, what do you think? 150, 200? What's your best guess?
I'd say 120, 75.
175? All right, keep on going. Now we're going down the entry to the Wells Fargo Bank, but to the left is a converted home. That's a business, but we're going to get to the next home, and we know that's a residence because we know the person living there. And she actually runs a business out of there too, but it is a residence, and she's there most of the time. So let's figure out how far that is from a cell phone tower, whether that's a good idea or not. And we're coming up now to pretty much the corner. We'll just add an extra couple of feet here at the end. Let's see what we get when we hit the curb. Okay, so I'm looking at that, and we're about 174 feet. Let's give it another 10, 185 feet to the house behind this fence, and all the way up there is the entrance to her home. And this is entirely too close to the utility pole, which is back there. So once again, even though it's in a so-called commercial zone, it's still very close to homes. There should be more of a setback than 185 feet. Here we are at 453 2nd Street West in Sonoma, California. We're in front of Taxpertise, Bonnie Lee, enrolled agent. And we've been here before because we've seen they're targeting this pole for one of those close proximity microwave radiation antennas. And yes, it looks like this is a commercial area. It looks like we got a bank right across the way, and then that is the West Napa Street, and there's another 7-Eleven and a couple of guest house there. But when you go just up the street, just a short way, there's a gray house in front of the other side of that car. That's probably within 100 feet. And then just on the other side of that Wells Fargo is another house. And then it's solidly residential from that point on. Let's find out how close this cell phone tower will be to residences. All right, we're at the base of the pole, and here's our measurement guy, and we are at 0. Let's start walking. All right, so we're going to go across the street, straight line, right to the corner of wherever that residential lot starts, and find out how many feet we are from a cell phone tower. So even though we're nominally in a commercial area, boy, it's awfully close. There probably should be a setback from this commercial boundary to any residence. So we're going to go ahead and hit a sidewalk and jump up. We'll go a little bit further. We're going to go right to the edge over here, keep on going, and right about there, we're going to stop. What do we got there? Oh, just about 80 feet to the property. Let's go all the way up the walkway to the house. And now we're just going the walkway to hit wherever the house is. And as soon as we stop at the house, I'll take a measurement. All right, just about 100 feet. Well, I measured 100 feet from a small cell phone tower in Santa Rosa that's already operating. It's 170,000 microwatts per square meter. That's peak RF microwave radiation. Much too high for a residential area. So now here's another house on 2nd Street West, and we're going to find out that it's just one house in between before we get to taxpertise, and that's the pole. So let's go measure from that pole to that house. All right, once again, we're at the base of the pole, and you're going to see that our measurement device is in line with that pole, and it is at 0. Let's get going. Let's go down the street, see what we can find. Okay, so we'll walk a little faster. Make this a shorter video. Excuse me for the jerkiness of this video, but we're trying to make sure that you don't click off. So we're going faster now. Whoa! Here we go. Are we close? Coming up, coming up. Nope, nope, come this way. Just go in line with where the house is. And stop there. That is about 105 feet to our residence from a cell phone tower. Yep, we need more of a setback than that. Alright, so we're back at this pole again because we noticed that behind taxpertise, there's yet another residence. So now we're going to go down the driveway and measure to that residence. Figure it out, put it right in front. And we are at 0, and let's start walking. So all we're doing is going down the driveway for taxpertise. It's to the right of us. We're going to head back to apparently, which is a rental property, I'm guessing. But people live there, and the question is, should they be close to a cell phone tower? We don't think so. We think we're going to predict all residences in Sonoma. So let's find out where we are. Getting close, coming to the front door, going past the car. And we're going to get just to the stoop. Let's figure out what that is. And we are at 116 feet. So we'll give it 120 to the door, which is right in front of us. Okay? So anyway, again, once too close to be to a cell phone tower if you live here. And guess what? There's people on the 2nd story, and when you put something up around 25, 30 feet in the air, you get a direct hit into a 2nd story window. You gotta understand how bad that is. Here we are in Sonoma. We're on 1st Street West of McDonald Street, and we see on the corner a utility pole that Verizon is targeting for one of those so-called small cell phone towers. We think maybe they're going to replace the pole because this is a pretty short pole. And what we find is that, yes, this is mostly offices. These are houses that have been converted to offices pretty much on either side. But what we're going to do is when we look across the street from this, we're going to see a large yellow building, which is also an office. But down the driveway in the back, that's a residence. Well, we're thinking that one's going to be maybe 200 feet away, but we'll find out because we're going to measure from this pole to that residence. Right back there. All right, here we are. We can see the base of that pole, and there's our counter, and we can see that it is zeroed out. All right, let's get walking. So we're going to be a little walk here, and I'm going to try to keep that focused, but we're going to cross the street, and we're going to go pretty much down the sidewalk to get to the back house. And so now we're right about 35 feet across the street. And continuing on, and the people who are going to work at this building are going to start getting all this radio-frequency microwave radiation somewhere around 60 feet. That's pretty close. All right, here we are at 5th Street and Mariano Drive, and what we're going to do is we're going to measure how far this cell phone tower is going to be from this home. So we have a little measurement there. Let's go, starting at 0, go ahead, start walking. So what we're doing is going to measure exactly how far that cell phone tower is from the home. There we go, still walking. Still walking, you tell me when it lines up and then you stop. And here we go, a little further. Alright, stop. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so I am looking at right around 27 feet, okay? So what are we measuring exactly? That is a telephone pole, utility pole, upon which Verizon has said they want to put a small cell phone tower. This is the house that it is 29 feet from. That's entirely too close to this house, and that's why we think it's wrong to put this in residential zones. All right, here we are. We're looking at the base of a utility pole, upon which they want to put one of those close proximity microwave radiating antennas, and we're right about here. Guess where that is? That's at 5th and Mariano, and across the street is a lovely home from 1910, and we think that's going to be much too close to the cell tower. Let's go check out what we got. We got a little measurement thing here. We're going to see that it's at 0. Let's start walking. So we're going to walk over to the house. We're going to find out how many feet it is to her front door. So what we've learned is that up in Santa Rosa, we measured from a small cell phone tower to about 100 feet away, and that was about 170,000 microwatts per square meter. That's peak radio frequency microwave radiation. Here we are, it's going across the street. Going to go up on the grass. Just a second here. Go ahead. Continuing on, we're going to go in the gate. Opening the gate, looks great. Keep on going. Coming up the walk, all the way to the front door here. Just go to the house, the corner of the house where it is. And we're going to zoom in on that measurement as soon as we get to the corner. Okay, stop. Well, this one is just about 127 feet from a cell phone tower to the corner of this lovely home. Entirely too close.